Greetings everyone and welcome back to StoneHearth. Not Hearthstone. I knew it was going to happen eventually. Oh well, we got 11 episodes through before it reared its ugly head. But we'll start off today's episode with a daily update. And in this daily update, we get our 27th settler. Oh, happiest of days. Well done you. Let's have a quick look-see and see what kind of settler you are. 562. Not bad at all. Hi, Kaiser. Welcome to the town. Wow, this is a glorious way to start an episode. How lovely, truly. Alright then, in today's episode, we're going to have to address a good number of things, actually. We have gotten some really, really good advice in the comments that I'm super happy for. Now, the chief bit of advice is this, although it is very useful for me, is very, very ugly for my settlers and is likely a cause of their dismay. I wasn't aware of that. Thank you so much for pointing that out. That is going to be crazy helpful, although it's going to frustrate me to no end to have to set up all of these storages and then later on pull them all down. We're just going to have to do it. I need to get this out of the way so that my citizens... Can I just hold down shift? Yes, there we go. So my citizens stop feeling so dismayed by the awful, awful state of our colony. It is a bit of a sty, isn't it? Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's sort this out, shall we? I think it is high time that we dealt with that. We're going to start moving some of these over here, and that I will explain in a few moments. Let's get the last little bits. Now, there are a few things we want to do in this episode. The goals for today. Well, perhaps lofty, but we'll see how it goes. First and foremost, I would like to get the Gatehouse on the way, starting to be built at the very least. Secondly, we want to get a shepherd. And third, this one is very much an opportunity. If it's possible, then we'll do it. If it is not, or rather, if it would just be squeezing in a little bit too much, then we'll skip it and we'll do it in a later episode. But I would very, very much like to get to the next house. And the next house is going to be the house of our blacksmith. I am very eager to show you what I have planned for them. But for now, we've got a number of odds and sods, and we've got all of these set up, so well done you. Let's get all of them set to take all. There we are. Let's get every single one set so that you can haul to your heart's content and fill these bad boys. There we are. Marvellous. Let's get everything sorted. Thank you very much. That's going to take them a while, and it is going to frustrate them a little bit to have all of this mess around the place. But we're just going to have to see where that goes. Now, let's see. I believe we've now got one too many. Well, hi Kaiser. I am truly sorry. We had a perfect number previously. Do we have... Oh, wait. It's no... Haha! Well, you're very fortunate, aren't you? You've joined us at just the right moment. Does anyone else not have a bed? You don't have a bed. Does anyone else not have a bed? Honestly, you completely lucked in. Those are some of the best beds in the entire fort. Oh, wow. Really? We've still got super basic beds? How embarrassing. Anyone else? Casey? What about you? Akutami? Silkass? William? Tomcat? Darius? Little Rabbit? Lady Wolfheart? Big Al? Manu? Jin? Bubbles? Soulwind? This is as much for everyone watching as for me. We've got one... okay. Got one error that I'm a little bit worried about. Zangiri still doesn't have a bed. No, that's not good. Zangiri, I'm afraid you're just going to have to live with it for now. For now! It's only short little bit of time. Right, okay. So, whilst we've actually got all that set up, we could go ahead and plonk down our area for our shepherd. Sure, okay, let's do that. Right now we can only have a rabbit pen. Requires a shepherd level 2. That is fine. A rabbit pen is okay. Maintain... Just maintain 10. Let's not push it all the way up. Harvest grass. Automatically harvest any grass that grows in the pasture. Really? That... Why did we not have a shepherd before? Very well. Rabbits reproduce quickly and can be slaughtered for jerky, pelts, and sometimes bonuses. It's perfect. Let's get that going. We might even have 2. I might shrink the rabbit pen as time goes on. Additionally, we can pop down a couple of extras down here. I do like having just a few little bits and bobs here and there to make this place look lovely. And then we're going to pump down a couple of smaller, well, I say smaller, they aren't small at all, just a couple of trees as well, just to make the pasture look a little bit more wild, a little bit more enjoyable. This is going to be very free range, very free range. Realistically, we are only farming rabbits to the point that we can get poyos. That's the big one for us, I think. Next up, let's have a quick look through here. Got a lot of things that I'm trying to build, but I would like more wall lamps, if possible. 10, please. And make those as a fairly high priority. Beyond that, we don't have enough clay to warrant it. We really have enough of this to warrant it. Could you make me a good 5? No, make me 6. Pump those straight to the top, please. Let's get those all laid down. Right, okay. Now, I'm thinking... Let's have a quick look at you. Are we at a point where we can make this? No, not yet. We're not far off being able to make those, though. We're genuinely getting close. We are moving very fast on this. What level are you currently at, then? Silkass, you're halfway to level 3. Honestly, I think we might wait on it. That being said, we can probably have Silkass level up to the point that they can make it, and we can just place down everything we need. You know what? Sure. Let's go for this right now. Let's get this building built, shall we? I think that's going to be a very, very high priority. We've already completed goal number 1. You know, realistically, when I listed shepherds as a goal, it was getting poyos or sheep. Was the goal. Getting our shepherd up to the point that they're producing the items that we otherwise cannot. That's going to be crazy important to us. But as soon as these little areas have been taken down, then we're going to get to designing the gatehouse. I have grand plans. Not sure that they're going to make any sense. I'm not sure that they're really going to be useful, but we're just going to have to try. We're just going to have to try. There we go. Uh-oh. I need to make a small breach. For now. It is a very temporary breach. Super temporary. I just need a way for my farmer to be able to go over there and get saplings, that's all. That's not much to ask. Oh, that tea. Sorry for slurping it. That was... You know that feeling in the morning when you haven't had enough sleep and you pull yourself up because you're like, the world isn't going to slow down just because I'm tired or I'm sick. And then that first sip of tea, it's like, you know what, this is why I struggle. This is why I struggle through life. For these moments. But, building! Let's crack on. Now we're going to start a new building. Yeah, of course we are. And this one will be Gatehouse. We don't know if we're going to have more than one. So we're just going to go, no, we're just going to go with that. Alright, we've also got a group of charcoalers. I will buy all of your charcoal. Please and thank you. Cheers. Goodbye. Right then. Now, the first thing I'm going to do here is we need to define the walls that we're going to have. And in my mind, outside of... Oh, actually, first we need to make sure we're using the right types of walls. There we are. Column. We will also go with some just basic columns there, and the walls will be raffia. And I'm going to just pop down the basic shape of the main floor, because it'll take me a little bit of umming and ahhing to just get everything to fit right. Okay, now that is the back section. As you can see, we're going to have a nice large area out here. I'm actually going to put, well, you know what, I'll let the game continue for now, but we're just going to be focusing on this for the time being. So most of the messages I'm not going to look at. No, I guess the update is fine. It's going to be a while before we get our 28th colonist. That is a, what? You've got a little bunny friend and you're leading them back up the stairs. That's going to be awkward. But this little area back here, I'm thinking of having some sort of balcony that will look out over the rest of the settlement. Plumber Smack is now a mass crafter. Well done, Plumber Smack. Oh, really? That was annoying. But now the button is in the wrong place, but that's fine. Right, now we are going to want a couple of little wall sections just to allow us to have lanterns in the same sort of design that we've had up to now. We will get to those though, I'm thinking. We'll have a look into that. Now, out the front, if we have a look at decorations, can I place turrets as decorations? Are these things I can do automatically? Are they items that I can place? They might not be. Okay. Furniture, are they things that I can place as furniture? Furniture, defenses, storage, no. Training equipment, no. Well, that does cause me some concern in that case. Doors wise, can I place down, oh, I can't even place the portcullis. Well, that's a great worry then. Okay, well, you know what? We're going to design most of the building. We're just not going to finalize the building. But let me introduce you to my my plans. As I mentioned, out here is going to be a balcony sort of area. It's going to be very open plan, though. We're not going to have to worry too much about this one. So let's just pop in. I wanted it to have a window very much like these ones on this side, so we'd be going something along these lines, like so, and we'd have a little archway kind of just filling this in around there, and the same on this side, so there we are. Donk, there we go. Out here, however, we want something a little bit more grand, and I'm thinking, sure, we'll go full bore with this. We'll have a very large archway. So something like that, I think. Just leading out into this sort of little courtyard. That'll be right behind the gatehouse. It will look marvelous, I tell you. Absolutely marvelous. We'll leave that standing as it is for just the time being while I now focus on the front. Because my general plan is to have a nice area up top where we could potentially have some extra defenses or some archers. And out the front, there will be a fairly large way up a stairwell quite far forward. But before that point, we are going to want to have some additional defenses. Now, again, I'm not entirely certain on the shape of the defensive turrets, but if we assume a 3x3, and that gives us room enough for 2 of them. If we expand it out just a little bit more, it'll give us just enough room for an engineer to squeeze behind and place them down. So in total we'd have 4. I have no idea how powerful these turrets are, so please forgive me if me sounding impressed with the idea of having 4 turrets is like, oh, my sweet summer child. I will completely accept that. If that is the case, you know, fair play. Again, I'm not particularly well versed with this game. Not even in the slightest way. So I do apologize for any obvious mistakes I'm making. Alright, I would like these to just curve in to the general area here. So we'd have something along these lines. Now, this is a little bit fiddly for me to set up. But I wanted to show you how I was going about setting these up, as I feel that it's probably quite interesting to see what I'm going to be doing here. Now, you'll notice that these are not walls. I don't believe it is possible to edit a building. You can add to it, but you can't take away from it once you've built it. However, these, the actual gates, the fences, and this is by design, are objects, not walls. I can simply take down that object, meaning we've got a 3x3 little walkway there that my halflings will be able to just go straight out on. And that will be grand. Truly, truly grand. Now, ultimately, I would love it if we had a kind of a 2-tier stairwell out here. I'm not sure that that's going to be a thing that we can do. I would love to try, but I'm really not certain that it is. Let's try for... Well, we'll just go for Raphael now. For just this initial bit. We'll pop this in here. We'll stretch it out. I want it to be a 4x4. Actually, I want it to be wider than the gate that it's going to be leading to by a good bit. That can sit there. Can I... You know what? That doesn't make as much sense. The reason why that isn't going to work is because I'm not going to be able to build a floor on it easily. So let's instead move this down here. We'll see where we have to put it. Ultimately, the floor is going to be on the 3rd level there. So we want this leading up to that. Let's sink it down just a little bit. Something like this should do, ultimately. Sure, okay. I'm fine with that. And that gives us a bit of an idea of where we're going to be placing our flooring. I am going to want a wall just leading in along its side. Something like this. Then we can shrink that down to the correct amount. Now, I'm only making it too high right now because the floor will be going on top of it. That being said, I do want these ones to be just slightly higher than the rest. And then we'll just dig in there. These will probably lead to... we'll rise this up to 4, sorry. The reason why I want this one to be 4 is because the floor itself is going to take up a bit of room. But we are going to ultimately want to have a little bit of a fence along here. And the fence is going to lead right down into the walls on this side, where we're going to have the main gatehouse. Now, I'm not exactly sure of the shape the gatehouse is going to take, ultimately. But we'll just have to cross our fingers on that one. Now, outside, as this is external to the main part of the build, I would rather have this all in raffia, rather than the wood patterning that we've got going elsewhere. And I'm building these floors in a very specific shape right now. And that's so that I can have them squeak in to these locations. How I'm going to bring this together, I'm not yet certain. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place down the remaining floors and probably plonk down the main portcullis area over here, the aperture that we're going to be putting the portcullis in, assuming it's only 4x4. And I'll bring you back when we've got a better idea of where the floors are so that we can start considering where we're going to be building turrets. Okay, there we go. There's our main pathway here. Or rather, main kind of turret platform, let's say. And possibly some arches as well. Now, to give you a bit of a better idea of how we're going to be laying this out, let's go ahead and place down the actual fence posts, shall we? We're going to be having them running along these lines here. Though I could adjust this if I particularly wanted to, and maybe I do. But for the time being, I kind of like the idea of just having our potential enemies, and also guests, wandering through this area along here. So we would have very much a case of... that's a little bit awkward of a position now, isn't it? Well, drat. We're not easily going to be able to make that work for us. Alright. Well, we're going to have to find a way to make it work, at the very least. I guess we're just going to have double the double kind of square design here. It's not particularly exciting, but then I guess it doesn't need to be, does it? Well, what am I saying? Of course it needs to be. You get. I'm not sure of an easy way that we can fix this. Let's get rid of these. We might be able to do something. It may be possible to just squeeze in these on. Yeah, we should be able to make it look at least a little bit more interesting. I really dislike it when everything has a very samey quality, as you probably well noticed through my Let's Play so far. There we go. That's a little bit better. We've got this central little area there. That looks a lot better to me. There we go then. That works. Additionally, just because this does look very plain, I know. We're going to be getting some very, very nice little areas there. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, we're still well off from that. We'll be going to have, and this is a bit of a continuation of the design we're using elsewhere. Actually, I popped that in the wrong place. We're going to be having these windows just lining the walls like this with a regular opening there. And I think that just looks nice. It genuinely looks nice. I mean, I could mix that up and have a full trellis effect. Let's actually have a look and see how that would look. Would that look better? You know what? I think it does. I think it does. I think the very large aperture there is not exactly appealing for a wall, when it's specifically a wall section. But I think that looks quite lovely. And as you can see, we've got a little archway internal there for the portcullis to exist in. Hopefully, it'll work the way I'm imagining it works, and we don't have any particular issues with that one, but can't promise anything there. Now, up on top, we can just go ahead with a raffia floor, just along here, just the same way I've got the defenses around much of the rest of the build. That necessitates us popping down a wall next, of course. This is a little bit more of an awkward wall to place, though. I'm not going to lie on that one. We should still be able to create the effect that we're looking for, though. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. We just slide these on up all the way. Then we can continue on the pattern that we've got here. Now, this pattern is almost certainly going to have to come to an end in the same... Oh? No, unfortunately we're not that lucky. Alas, we will bring this up just a little bit more so that we can have a bit of a nicer pattern going right there. We'll have some sort of like crown at the back. I think that's fine. Overall, that shouldn't be much of an issue there. Next up, however, we are absolutely going to be sinking in these little areas properly. So we've got a bit of extra depth there. I really think that makes these builds. Just those tiny extra details really does bring out the best of it. There we go. And I think that is good enough. Well, actually, you know what? Let's remove that so it's the same elsewhere as well. There we are. So that's a lovely open out onto the back area here. And along with that, we will actually go ahead and place down just a very slight amount of fencing. We don't want much here. That's not the goal in this little area. Trap down blast. Once again, we are thwarted. I guess I could put this down, but it wouldn't really look... Well, maybe it isn't too bad to have the very densely packed fence. No, who am I kidding? Of course it's bad. It's awful. Who would do that? No shade intended. If that looked great to your eyes, you know what? You do you. That's one of the beautiful things about any creative process. Is something that might not look particularly good to you. Like, you might have started on an art project and you're not satisfied with the result, but to someone else, it's perfection incarnate. That's one of the nice things about the saying that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Right, now, I would like to continue the welcome mat out here. I think that's actually quite important. Let's get that down. And all the way through. However, crossing this threshold, one of the things we couldn't do with most of the carpeting that we've done so far is have any particular difference in style here. Now, that's not something that we've had the opportunity to do elsewhere on the carpets. So I'm not going to do it excessively, but I really do like having that extra tiny little bit of depth that is afforded by this. And we'll just bring that a little ways in. We just won't take it any further. Out here, we could have a very large carpet if we wanted. And yeah, we've got 3 shades of red here that we could play with. We could be a little bit more creative here if we wanted to be. And I'm kind of inclined to be, honestly. I don't see any reason why we couldn't be nice with this. Let's go ahead, at the very least though, for the time being, as a bit of a shorthand, we'll just put in that extra little bit of depth there. That actually does so much for it. Wow, it really does. We'll probably have some planters and nice urns and the likes outside here, just to make that look that little bit more extravagant and luscious. Now, as for the top of our wall, this one's a little bit more of a tricky one because I would like defenses up here, but at the same time, we have the opportunity to place some more turrets or archer platforms. We could even have a platform that reaches out all the way down here. If we particularly wanted to, we could have some sort of little platform. I don't believe that we have any kind of horizontal windows like this, which is such a shame. I would love to have a trellis made of those. It would be glorious. I think we could all agree. Alas, that is not on the cards for us right now. What we could do is simply remove that in its entirety. And we can have a little open area for our archers to just stand out on these battlements, perhaps, if they particularly want to, and rain death down on our enemies as needed. Now, in here, at the moment, we don't know, or rather I don't know, whether how large an area we need for the turrets. So, if we were to build a 5x5 or even a 4x4, that would almost certainly be everything we need. And then we could have a little 3x3 down there as well. Maybe even another 3x3 just down the bottom here. Something like that. That would give us quite a lot of targeting potential, I would imagine. Oh, that was not what I wanted to do. We could see how that goes. But instead of placing these, because the moment you place a floor, it becomes attached. And it's not exactly easy to remove it after that point. Not without taking up the entire floor, and we've put a bit of work into this floor so far. I know it doesn't look like much. It'll look better when I add a little bit of dappling, just to give it a bit of extra texture. But this is the general idea. Enemies will have to walk up along here into the Portcullis, which will hopefully be able to sustain quite a lot of damage. Our archers and our turrets will be lined along the outside here, possibly at the top as well, though if I put anything up there, it won't be able to attack anything that's directly attacking the Portcullis, which will be a bit of a problem. But the access point will be on this side, and then we should hopefully be able to do a decent bit of damage to any potential scallywags. Now, one other thing we could do over here is I could, if I want to, I kind of do. How about we add in a little bit of extra detailing on the walls in here? Now, that isn't something I planned for, so it's going to be very awkward for me to pop that back down. But my build is worth it. Okay, I think that's the very last little bit of detailing I can do right now until we know the shape and nature of turrets, and indeed whether that's a large enough gap for a portcullis. We will see. Now, ultimately, I want the turrets to be up on raised platforms, so they've got a better firing angle down over the fences here, and also down out here. We may even have enough room for 6 turrets if I really want to. We'll see how that goes. Again, I will detail the 4 a little bit better. We're not going to click build for now. We're just going to leave it as is for the time being. Right, let's go and check on what's been going on in the town in our absence. Well, everyone is at least content. No one is merry, though. What? That is very, very little prepared food. What the dickens has been going on while I haven't been looking? This is terrible news. Where is all of our food? Why is our food not being prepared? I am shockingly concerned. I have no idea why that is not being taken care of. Well, let's have a quick look. What exactly is the problem? Right, you've got no meat. That's fine. Those are rarer items, certainly. We have no raw meat, or no bone, no bug meat, no jerky. Wait now. Oh. Well, Aavakeen is doing their job, I would have said. Checking traps. Well, that is a little bit of a worry. Why are we not getting jerky? I mean, we do have plenty of jerky, it seems, or at least I thought we did. Well, perhaps we need an extra trapper then. Alright, I'm down with that. Forgotten Dragon, perhaps? Or maybe High Kaiser. No, High Kaiser's got very nice stats here for a crafter. Or potentially even another footman. Someone with high will but nothing much else. Evil friend, you know what? You want to be a carpenter. I guess Forgotten Dragon. Let's get you helping out with the trapping. We need more meat, basically. If you could crack on with that, I'd be deeply, deeply appreciative. Alright, Silkass. Not made much progress there, unfortunately. It's been we've been in just a regular run speed for most of the design process. Now, with that all in the process of being made, now I'm going to avoid doing any other building until we've got that all set up. But one thing I would like to do at this stage is remove all of this. We don't need these here anymore, I don't think. In fact, can I just mass remove these? I should be able to. There we go, perfect. Yeah, let's get that all out of the way, and in its place, we are going to replace this gate with a solid wall. That way, all future access to the fort is going to be through this one gatehouse, at least until such a time as I am happier with this, the wall over here. So we're going to be digging all of this away and then replacing that with a bespoke wall and gatehouse combo, much as we have elsewhere. Let's go and check on our shepherd. Little Rabbit, how are you doing? You are, in fact, on the way to level 2. You're quite far away, unfortunately. So I'm going to pass a little bit of time and let our halflings get a little bit... Ha ha ha! Well. Looky here. We have some scallywags. Do we have access to that area? You know what? We might not. We may not have easy access down here, which is a bit of a problem. I guess. I mean, is it really a problem when you can't be attacked by orcs? Not strictly speaking. But I would like to be able to attack them for... Oh. Well, that's just rude. I was about to roll out the welcome wagon and everything. Ah, man. Oh well, I'm going to pass a little bit of time and allow my halflings a bit more opportunity to level up, and generally for us to deal with any issues that arise. I shall bring you back when there's something to report. Well, this is an interesting sight to see. A spirit of Coda, friend to all. How marvellous. Can we interact with it? This is a ghost cat. A friendly ghost cat, no less. Which is quite different from an unfriendly ghost cat, which is something you don't want to mess with. We'll see if we can get it up there. Ooh, was that? No, it was a glimmering star off in the distance. That's a bit of a shame. I thought we could see the glowing eyes of a zombie.
Now, Silkas is getting very close to their next level. There's a lot of things going on though, and I'm not sure when we are going to see Silkas reach that lofty of levels, level 3. But I am giving Silkas quite a lot of jobs to do. I am probably, in fact, you know what, Silkas, I just want you doing your job. I should have done that a little while ago, honestly. We are going to tell our guards people to stand down, however, as they've been on shift for quite some time. I'm a little bit concerned that it may be digging into their ability to get their general jobs done. On that note, yeah, pretty much everyone who's got any kind of issue right now in regards to getting their levels up, I'm going to just tell them, don't haul. Don't haul anymore, don't build. We've got enough people for that you don't need to. Max level crafters, nah, you can do it fine. And we've got quite a lot of those at this point. I'm going to be honest with you, we've got a lot of max level crafters, which is very, very great to see, to be honest. We have dropped down a couple more decorations here and there. We're still a little ways away from Hearth of Cheer, though, you know, we're getting there. It's just, it is taking us a good long while. I'm not certain how I'm going to decorate this area just yet, but as it stands, we are just waiting for Silkas to get his level so that I can find out just how big we need to prepare for the Portcullis and for the damn it, and for the turrets. I'm fairly certain the turnip throwers are 3x3, but I'm not sure about the others. It makes sense for them to be 3x3 as well, but not everything in this game makes sense. Silkas has finally reached level 3, oh my lord. It has taken us so very long. And actually, a crash. The first one I've experienced so far, as it happens. Thankfully, the autosaving in this, as much as I bemoan it now and again, did exactly what it's there to do, and meant that I lost a grand total of about 3 seconds worth of progress. That was, of course, very good luck. But still, at worst, it wouldn't have been much more than that. Probably about 2-3 minutes, something along those lines. It does seem to go off all the time. Right, okay, we're just going to deal with this little group over here. Now, we have had one almost hiccup where all of our footmen actually went down because our healer decided to run off back into the village because one of the villagers got clipped by an enemy as I was recalling them, and passed by my healer as my military was launching their daring rescue, or rather the defense of the colony. And yeah, bad times when your healer isn't there. Yeah, the knight on the other hand, Big Al was just like, yeah, I don't even know why everyone's complaining. This is easy. Barely a scratch on me. My armor on the other hand, oh my god, it's ruined. I imagine, he said. Right, let's have a quick look. I'm gonna buy, yes, in recognition of Silkas Loftio, we can buy all of the things that have eggs in them, because eggs are delicious. There we go, all of the eggs, please and thank you. Right, okay, now then, finally, we can have a look at you. Now, is this going to allow us to place down the turrets as part of this? We do have some traps built. We might not be able to place the turrets yet, though. And if that is the case, that is fine. It does seem that is not an option yet. Okay, we can't place turrets or traps as part of a build. Alright, that's fine. I do have some traps made. I've got the critter traps, which are actually literal mouse traps. That's glorious. However, let's go in and see if we can't coax Silkas to make the Portcullis right now as a matter of stupendously high priority, and then the turrets thereafter. That is all we're going to really need from you. Have we got everything we need for the Portcullis? We do. Marvellous. Chop chop. Please and thank you. And then the turrets afterwards? Yes. Okay. So once we know these items, I can be safe in the knowledge that we should be fine. Now the Portcullis I can probably just place down into the blueprint, frankly. In fact, let's have a quick look at that. Can I place the Portcullis as part of the blueprint? Is that something I can place down? Yes, yes it is. Nice. And how big is it? It is pretty much the dimensions we imagined it would be. It is a shame that it doesn't look different. I'll be honest. Given the theme of our village, it would have looked nicer had that been a different color. But it's fine. It's okay. Right, we could, you know, have a couple of garden lanterns along the outsides. I may hold off on placing any of these, however. You notice how some of them have the quality kind of indicator there? Yeah, if I placed it down with a high quality indicator and then I just didn't make one, just by happen chance I didn't make a high enough quality, that would suck enormously. Right, we've got our turret. How big is this? It is a 3x3. All that waiting. All that waiting. Just to be told what I was fairly certain. Oh well. I would have hated myself if I went to the effort to build all of this out and it wasn't a 3x3 in the end. Right. Okay, well, we're going to actually go with something a little bit different. We're going to go with Morocco brown. No, we want something a little bit more red. Rustic red. There we go. Okay. We are going to want a 4x4. Now, how are we going to set these out? One 4x4 there. One... Oh, no. We don't want to use blocks for this. We want to use floors. Specifically floors. Now, we do have a 3x3 right here. That's fine. Then a 5x5, I should say, can go over here. Now, that would give us a potential... we could have two 3x3s over here, or another 5x5. Now, what I'm actually thinking about here is having multiple platforms. So we'd have a small platform down here, we could have a turret there, a turret here, and then finally another turret over here on a raised platform, a raised 5x5, something along these lines. So it's not exactly ideal, is it? Unfortunately, the design there doesn't quite lend itself to this patterning. Nevertheless, that's why we're doing this now. Why we waited to be able to put all of this down. We do something along these lines, a space and then another 5x5, so that we now want this to be a 6. I could adjust the patterning here to account for that. The shape of the flooring. I'm just not entirely sure that we want to. So let's drill that back just a little bit. By a little bit, I mean entirely. Instead, we could have a 3x3 here, or another 5x5, just down the ways a little bit. I ultimately do want them on a raised platform, but if I had a 3x3 there and a 3x3 here, that gives me quite a lot of punch, actually. Now the question is, will my engineers be able to reach up onto them? That's the biggest problem, is if I make it a 3x3 platform, like this, and then put the turret just on top, will my engineer be able to reach up to that, to repair? You know what? I think we've got an idea. I think I've got an idea. We should be able to make this work, everyone. Something like this. And it fits in quite nicely. I mean, it looks awful right now, but I've got a plan. Cunning plan, one might say. There we go. Well, it's not particularly cunning, I suppose. It's simply that I'm not going to be leaving it this colour. Simple as that. Right, we want a regular clay colour, and not raffia though. I would like something a little bit different. Pavlova maybe. Something that makes it stand out a little bit more. There we go. We could just have the turrets literally side by side. So 3x3, space 3x3. There we go. That would look quite nice. That gives us room for 4 turrets here. We could even then adjust this a little bit and have a few turrets up on top. I'm not sold on that idea, though. I could have 2 turrets in here, perhaps. Now that is a lot nicer of an idea. I'll be honest with you. If we remove this there and there, we could actually do something rather swanky with that, I fancy. Let's find a nice hillside light, perhaps. Not certain on that one. Can I have an ash colour? Actually, no, shadow. It's a little bit too dark. A little bit too dark there. Winter hazel. Just pop down just a few little bits here and there. I just want to give this little area something a little bit more worn, just weathered. Not in a disrepaired kind of way. Just something to give it a little bit more texture and colour than we're gonna get otherwise. Problem is, raffia is the lightest of the colours. That is causing me a little bit of problem as I'm trying to find the right kinds of colours to go in, because it does end up looking a little bit too intentional. Otherwise, I'm not entirely certain on that, but we're going to be going with it as is and just hope for the best. Right, okay, well, up here then, if we are going with the same sort of idea, then we need reds pretty much to illustrate these areas. And I'm thinking something along this line. Something like that. Yes, I'm liking this a lot. We are going to expand that out there and here as well. And there we go. And should we have a border? Yes, we should have a border, but this border doesn't need to follow the same pattern down below. We can have the actual turret platform itself be pronounced. Yes, I like that. I like that a lot. We can have some lighting down there. That gives us room for 6 turrets overall. We can have a little bit of a design choice there, just to make it stand out just that little bit more for our turrets. We can have perhaps some fires here and there, just to illuminate the areas. Is this going to bother me? Because it is a bit of an awkward shape there now, isn't it? I may be able to fix. No, you know what? Sometimes you need it. Sometimes you need a little bit of chaos, a little bit of something that stands out. We could sink in a moat around here that just kind of terminates around there and just kind of digs into all these little nooks and... Oh, I like that. I like that idea a lot. Let me know down in the comments what you think of that one. But I think that's where we're going to put a pin in this. I'm pretty happy with this design for our gatehouse. Yes, I am. Let's make sure it's actually spelled correctly. We can edit that later. There we go. And we'll have some further decorations over here as well. But that's going to be it. We're going to plonk that one down. Hopefully it works. Please have no particular issues. Let's unpause. Is it going to complain? No. There we go. Okay, it has taken me an hour and a half to get to this stage, but that's going to be it from me. I really do hope you're still enjoying the series, and I look forward to any comments down below, especially if you have any input on my my designs and the way that we're building up our defenses. But that is going to be it for this episode. So until next time, and as always, do take care, everyone.